again. Last week we created our cushion covers. Now this week we are going to create the inserts for these covers. Now cushions can be filled with all kinds of things. Older cushions were often filled with cotton around springs, which were called Marshall units, and newer cushions can be filled with things like down or synthetic down. One of the easiest ways for us to create an insert is to use foam wrapped in batting. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go take a look. So when you're using foam for upholstery, it's really important to realize that not all foam is created equal. And if you know where to look, there's a whole rainbow of options available. So when you want to compare foams, there are two critical numbers that you should be aware of. The first one is an IFD, which is going to tell you how firm that foam is. For example, most chairs and sofas, the seat cushion is going to use a foam that has an IFD of somewhere around 30. For back cushions, we want something softer. I like to use something with an IFD under 20. The other number that you're going to want to be aware of is the density, which is not the same thing as firmness. Density is going to tell you just how heavy that foam is, how much product is there, and that's going to really indicate how long a foam is going to last for us. That can run anywhere from just under 1 pound for things like camper cushions or window seats, all the way up to about 3.1 pounds for a premium seating option. We're going to be using a 3.1 pound with an IFD of 33 from Fabric Supply in Minneapolis. Our old worn-out cushion will go back to Fabric Supply for recycling. Sometimes it makes sense to use the old foam for a pattern on your new foam, but usually I prefer to use my carefully patterned cushion template. It should be perfectly accurate to the cover we made in Lesson 9. An important thing to remember when you're making cushions is that your insert needs to be bigger than your cover to achieve a good fit. We've already finished our cushion boxing at 3¼ inch for our 4-inch foam. I'm also going to cut my foam a 1/4 inch bigger than my template all the way around. That extra foam won't prevent my cushion from fitting into the chair. It should be just enough to keep my cushion cover snug and full. To cut my foam out, I'll be using a foam saw. We spray the blade with silicone to help it cut through easily. If you're just getting started, this isn't a tool you're likely to own. Lots of upholsterers cut foam with an electric turkey knife, which is easy to find and quite affordable. It also does a pretty great job. But when you're working with thicker and denser foams like this, it may be worth finding a shop or source that can cut your cushions for you. Once our foam is cut, we're going to add a layer of polyester batting. The batting serves a couple of functions. First, it gives our cushion a little loft so it doesn't look like such a brick. Secondly, it actually protects the foam and fabric from rubbing against each other, which can cause premature wear. I'm only wrapping the exposed faces of my cushion, the top, front, and bottom. Personally, I prefer not to wrap the sides of my cushion, though some upholsterers certainly do, and there's no reason not to. You just want to figure out what gives you the best fit. Getting your cushion insert neatly into the cover can be a workout, but we've got a trick. Using a thin plastic called silk film and our shop vac, we can make the job a whole lot easier. If you're working at home and don't have silk film, a dry cleaning bag makes a great substitute. Now that looks pretty good, but we're not quite done. For our cover to sit nicely, we have to get our hands in and help it out. I'm going to carefully pull out as much silk film as I can reach, while also pushing the seam allowances down against the cushion boxing. Taking the time to square up and dress your cushion cover yields a satisfyingly tidy result. We're going to apply the same principles to our back cushion. Based on the dimensions of our finished cover, I want to create an insert that's larger for a nice fit. However, for a back, we want to create a much softer cushion, so the products we're selecting will vary accordingly. I like to start with some kind of a foam core to give my cushion structure, but I don't want to end up too firm since our original cushion didn't have any foam at all. It was basically a liner full of loose polyester fill, similar to a pillow. I'm starting with a 2-inch piece of foam that has an IFD of 18, one of the very softest foams I can buy. I'm going to wrap that in polyester batting, just like the seat cushion, but then I'll add an additional layer of a much loftier batting called DAC 91. This product is more expensive and a little more challenging to work with, but it creates a nice soft look much closer to the original insert than a standard wrap. To use this product, I have to feather away the extra batting by hand and then wrap and glue the light fabric liner to which it is stitched. So even though our original foam wasn't oversized like it was in our seat cushion, our back insert will end up considerably larger than the cover it's going into. Well, that's everything for cushions. There's no end to the fancy variations that you can explore, both with the cover style and with the inside fill. So do look at lots of videos, read lots of books, and just figure out what works for you. Next week, we are going to dive in on the outside of the frame, and we are just about ready to wrap up on B. We'll see you then.